Alright, head in the bed here. No, it's not head in the bed. It's the cat man, also known as Yaosio. Anyway, earlier I said, in my last video, I said that Picard broke the Prime Directive, and it was for a really stupid reason. And so now it's time for me to explain that idiotic, dumb reason that made no sense at all. So some of you might remember the episode in where Wesley tramples some flowers, and so then they have to kill him. Now, for whatever reason, they didn't kill him. Picard, at the end of it, Picard just took him off the planet. So let me refresh your memory on what happened in that episode. So they decide they're going to go to this planet, and they have a shore leave, and so they go down to the planet, and everybody's wearing these little, I guess, silver clothes, barely covering anything. Apparently, they really love sex. Even though I don't think they actually said that. I think Riker talked about plain old basic sex in that episode. Anyway, they go down there, and Wesley is playing catch with some people, and he falls into an enclosure that has flowers in it, and it turns out that either trampling the flowers means instant death, or there is an area where if you commit any crime, it means instant death. So now you might be wondering, what did Picard do that violated the Prime Directive? When they arrived there, they didn't know the local laws. And the only way that can make sense is if they had never been there before. If nobody had ever been there before from the Federation. They should have, if they had actually bothered to look at the local laws, they would have known that law existed. And they wouldn't have sent anybody down there. Instead, they just said, you know what? Here's a planet. We're just going to stop here. We're just going to go down there. Who cares? Nobody's ever been there before. I'm pretty sure they didn't even have space travel, so I'm not sure what they were. So, it might have been another episode, but I'm pretty sure those people did not have space travel. So I don't understand how that doesn't violate the Prime Directive right there. It's and if you're going to some strange planet that you've never been to before, and you don't know the local laws, maybe it'd be a good idea to ask for a copy. Picard didn't do that. He just assumed he knew what the laws were. And said, oh yeah, it'll be fine. We know what the laws are. Oh, except for this really important one where you die if you commit a crime in a certain spot. So he broke the Prime Directive. There's no possible way they could have not known about that law unless this was a planet that they knew nothing about. If they knew nothing about it, they were breaking the Prime Directive. Because there's first contact. There's a way to do first contact, and it doesn't involve having all your people go down to the planet and tromp around on a planet that you don't even know what the laws are, and where it turns out that you probably should have known what the laws were, because one of them involves killing people because they trampled the flowers. Like that's an important thing. And anyway, the whole episode is they just go back and forth. They say, Dr. Crutcher says, "Oh, you're not going to let him kill Wesley," and Picard says, "No, I'm not. We're gonna do some legal wrangling. We're gonna get out of this legally." And it turns out, no, they can't do it, because that makes perfect sense that they wouldn't know how to get out of it, because I've been looking at my face this whole time and trying to look. I should have been looking into the camera here. Anyway. They obviously couldn't get out of it with legal wrangling because they didn't know what the laws were in the first place. So I don't understand how they could have understood the justice system of that planet. And of course, it was the entire planet, not just that one. Apparently, these crazy people own the entire planet. They probably killed everybody else to do it. So surprise, surprise, they don't get out of it, and then Picard just teleports Wesley away. And we never hear about that planet ever again. We also don't hear about the court-martial Picard should have gone through, because he broke the Prime Directive by going to a planet that he didn't know the laws about, which means no first contact had ever been done before. And then, through his stupidity of assuming what the local laws were, he was forced to break the law and essentially take Wesley out of their custody. And you would think that this could be a problem. No, just never comes up. In fact, nobody even cares about it. It's like that was. Nobody even says anything. Picard's the only person who's allowed to complain about the Prime Directive. I'm sure everybody else knew it was a violation, but they didn't want to tell Picard because they just wanted to go down to the planet and run around. I don't know what they were doing on the planet other than running around. I don't know if they were doing sexy things. Maybe they had space bars down there. I don't know. They don't actually explain why anybody would even want to go down to that planet in the first place. Because maybe some people just wanted to stay on the ship and play space games. No, everybody, hey, we're at this planet we've never heard of before. We don't even know what their laws are. Let's go down there and just walk around, I guess. Like they could walk around on the ship and go into they could spend their time in the holodecks. Say, oh, let's walk around the holodeck. Apparently, even though somebody can be in the holodeck and not know it, it's not realistic enough. Oh, man. Was this the episode where they thought their god was orbiting the planet? I can't remember. Every time I watch The Next Generation and I see this episode come up, I skip it. I just do not watch it because the whole thing's just so dumb. At least when Cisco screwed things up, he didn't act like, I did that on purpose and it was the right thing to do. That's what Picard did. He said, oh, it was the right thing to screw with Wesley's life. Picard probably did it on purpose. He hated Wesley. He said, hey, if I send that kid down there, maybe he'll get killed. He knew about the law. It's either he broke the Prime Directive or he knew about the law and sent Wesley down there anyway, just because he knew Wesley was going to get in trouble and he was going to die. And if his mom wasn't on the ship, Wesley would never have survived. They would have been gone. Beardless Riker, who was a complete jackass, would have been saying, wow, we're pretty cool that Wesley's gone now. I don't have to deal with that dumb kid with my beardless face. People are just waiting for me to get the beard and stop being such a jerk all the time. Man, the Prime Direct they make the Prime Directive so vague. Because apparently there's that other episode where there's volcanoes exploding all over the planet. They don't have space travel. They have magic doors that can appear and disappear at will. For some reason. And because they can send messages out to space, the Enterprise is allowed to help them. I don't get it either. Because that entire episode was about the Prime Directive and how Data broke it by speaking to somebody. They didn't know he was a space alien. Well, he's a space android. But this still breaks the Prime Directive. Star Trek just cannot figure out the Prime Directive, what they want to do with it. But the new one's gonna screw it up too. They're probably just gonna say, oh, let's just get rid of it. And then halfway through say, oh, let's bring it back. Add some drama. That's all it's for. The Prime Directive exists for the purpose of drama. That's it. And you have to wonder what would happen if, like, the Klingons put a base on a planet with a pre-warp civilization, and then they started attacking the Federation. Would the Federation not attack the base because it's on a pre-warp planet? Probably. There'd probably be a whole episode about, oh, we can't do it. Oh, we can't do it because it's pre-warp. That's when that breaks the Prime Directive. And then at the end, something dumb happens, and like it turns out it's not actually pre-warp civilization. They're actually giant dinosaurs, and they eat all the Klingons. And that way, there's no consequences to anything. There's like no matter what their decision is, it turns out it's good because somebody else took care of it for them. That's a lot of the stuff. That's a lot of that stuff in Star Trek. It's just somebody else fixes the problem for them. So their decision didn't matter. Maybe I should review every single episode and nitpick every single episode. Because I can do that. I can nitpick every single one of them to death. What do you guys think? Would you like that? I wouldn't, but I've got my 26 subscribers. You guys, I know. Are you going to demand that? I hope not. I don't have a way. Because I really don't want to. Because I'd have to like do video editing, and I don't have a way to do that. I don't even have a way to do my voice, capture my voice without my phone. Boy. All right. Hugs and kisses. That's what I do with my cat.